Hello everyone, this is Jerningham here. I'm still drinking my Coca-Cola. Some people say I may be addicted to Great Britain Coca-Colas. Hold on a sec. And I've got a bit of a sore neck as well, as you can tell. My neck's hurt. I don't know if you ever have a sore neck before, but it's probably the way I'm sitting, obviously. And there's a picture of a tape on here, as you can see. And I've got like a picture of multiple tapes back in the day. It was like tapes for things you listen to in your CD player, tape player, as you can see. Pretty cool can. I don't think there's going to be other cans like this, but it says scan for a chance to win a ticket. Apart from me talking about my cans with tape players on and Coca-Colas and sore shoulders, I had a dream last night. I was in this room and I kept running into the room and then the room closed up. I mean, most of us went into the room. We had to shut all the doors and the windows quickly. And apart from me going into that dream, let's talk about portals. What is a portal? Good question. It's not a camera lens or an eye lens, but imagine if there actually is different portals on the Earth and in the sky that we can't find or we need a plane or a car to get to. There's a few people that have said they've seen portals in real life on the ground or in the sky or in tunnels. Imagine if we can go into these portals, where would it take us? In outer space? Would it take us to heaven? Would it take us to hell in the portals? Will it take us to different dimensions like World War One and World War Two? There's a few people on YouTube that have done portal videos. Some people fake them very goodly. But I thought I'd suggest and talk about it. Some people like portals and talking about it. Some people don't know what they are.
There is a tunnel.
As you heard, the guy was saying there is a tunnel. I was talking on the phone. And obviously the computer thought I was speaking to the computer. There's bound to be more life forms probably out there in these tunnels, different universes, various things. What do you think? Where would it take us to? You know, it could take us anywhere really, back in time, back in the past or the future. It's the same with a time machine. It could take us anywhere we want to go. But they're probably real on other planets, these time machines. Only if we could just get one to our Earth. Or people could just start building time machines and have not told us. Then when people see all these aliens and ghosts and demons and things, is it that the people that try and go through the time machines and they put on different forms? Could be. My bloody shoulder is climbing. It really hurts. But I get to see the future and stuff as well. Like I say, I'm trying to get all these videos out here. I'm sorry if I'm taking a long time. And why my back is just really sore and killing me. But sometimes I get tired of doing videos. Other times I want to put videos out there. I do videos mostly every day. I need to find a bit more out about these time machines and portals. I'm sure these...
There is a tunnel.
I don't know why that thing keeps coming on.
Construction workers are
So I mean, every time I keep speaking, the computer keeps thinking I'm talking to the computer. It's because of that camera on top of the PS4 censors your speech. There could be like different worlds and dimensions, but I'm not too sure. As you can tell, my chest is really killing me. I don't know if you ever get a sore throat. I'm trying to sort out my sleeping patterns and Ifnal as well. My sleeping patterns are a bit behind as well. I want to try and get up during the day, but it's not easy when you get distracted by all sorts of things on the computer, the PS4, talking about things, watching movies, playing games. But I've always had this fear about time travel. Some people may not be interested in time travel, that's fine. But if you had one chance, what would you do? Would you go back and get the lottery numbers, or would you actually live in the olden days, like the Tudor times, the Roman times, Vikings? Yeah, but you have to find these portals, you see. Without the portals, you can't go anywhere. And some people may get lost in the portals and then end up in, like, Doctor Who, back in the olden days. And Doctor Strange. I don't know how to put this video, really, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I feel like I'm talking a bit too fast and a bit too quick on these videos. But as you can tell and you can see, loads of people have made videos of time portals. I mean, I like anything to do with time portals, which I'm going to show you. See, even this guy talking about it.
There is a tunnel.
See?
And machinery inside that tunnel sends beams of energy in a vast circle.
If time, I just wish it was real. There's bound to be things that are real with time travelling and portals. There's got to be. Perhaps we're looking in the wrong places. I don't know. Which makes me think and wonder. I know I got myself thinking something down my head about time travel and portals, but it's what I like to do and talk about. I mean, imagine the two eventually do both the Earths and all these portals and machines and all these beings, some other dimensions crash with ours, and World War III breaks out in the skies and stuff. I mean, then we see every soldier fighting in our country, from Roman times, Victorian times, Tudor times, 1800s, World War One, World War Two, many wars before then, caveman times. You know, back in the days where all the different types of soldiers came through from the 1800s. It'd be bloody crazy, wouldn't it? Big whole war kick off. Different gangs and things from that time, police coming through as well. All just kicks off. Different spaceships, maybe time zone. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Different spaceships from every time zone. You better know from the zone. Singing that song I made next. Oh, my bloody shoulder's just killing me. I don't know if you've ever had a sore shoulder before, but fuck me. Part of my language though, but this has been sore for like 2 days now. And it's probably because of the way I'm sleeping, or I've changed my sleeping patterns around. Lack of sleep can give you sore pains in the body. But I'm not too sure. Or too familiar with it really, but yeah. God, my fucking neck is killing me. You know, it's just nothing on the TV these days. It's always boring on a Sunday. And they always ask me and say to me, why is it boring on Sunday? Church day. Some people like to go to church. But I do like to watch my angels on YouTube. What I mean by that is ghost stories and hauntings. And I like anything to do with that. Some people may watch this video and think to themselves, what am I talking about? That's very true. Yeah, I'm just trying to put a more... This is how I do my videos differently to most other people. I try and put them all into one video as I'm speaking. And they're like, no way, you can do that. Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just being me. That's all I'm being. There can't be anything else. But I will be watching more videos and stuff and making more videos and thinking of more ideas. There's got to be something you could do. If you had the chance and the opportunity, what would you do? I'm just flicking through the PlayStation stores, you can hear. I mean, that Grounded game, what was on Xbox, is basically as well coming to PS4. Some of you guys, girls, ladies, may get it. If you've ever seen Honey, Where's the Kids? There's a film called that, but there's this as well. So this is a game that you can be shrunk on. And you can see here, you get shrunk on the game. And you go for an adventure on the game as well. So it's a multiplayer game. Grounded, you see, is coming soon, PlayStation. It's not for everybody, but some people will be buying this game. I think you can get it on PC as well, PS5 too as well. PS5, April 16th. I'm not too familiar what dates we're on now as well. But I don't think we're at the 16th of April just yet. But I think we're in March at the moment. Some people always get confused of tracking what time is. Some people don't. There's not a great deal on there at the minute, of games wise, but so I'm waiting for paint to dry, obviously. Just flicking through, trying to have a look. It's just not a great deal. I'm a bit tired. They're basically going to watch all the new games so far. As you can see, that game's coming soon, so is that game. All these other new games that are coming soon if you're interested in them. You got Moto G Sports, you got the Formula 124, if you're into them sort of games. Which I'm not really into them games. And tennis, if you like your tennis. Some people may get excited for tennis. I mean, call blimey. And who knows about that fire? I think they're showing most of the games in the newer consoles, the PS5s and the Xbox Series X's, compared to this now. There'll be a few games on the old gen, but not as many as I think there should be. Because things do move on in the future, and will move on. Like I say, when the PS5 Slims come out, I think they're out actually, the PS5 Pro comes out, eventually there'll be a lot more older PS5s and more people that will be able to go on PS5 but are cheaper than PS4. Bloody screen's fucking frozen now. Do you know what I find annoying about PlayStation Store? If you're not buying anything, if you're just scrolling through, it sometimes kicks you off the PlayStation Store if you're not buying anything. But there's always something to talk about in the world, like stories, history. The whole world is made on stories, basically. I mean, all the ideas that I usually think about was in my head all the time. You know? Hold on a second. You know, I think I've played most of these games on the consoles. I've used it quite a bit as well. It's not a great deal on the TV, per usual. Gotta make your own entertainment and fun up half the time. I think that's what other people decide to do, is make their own entertainment fun up and put videos on YouTube like I'm doing. It is what it is. It's how it goes. It is what it goes now. I do watch a lot of GB News and a lot of Talk TV and a lot of that basically. I was watching stuff like that, and they were talking about the NHS as well, so I'm going to put that on too. Throw that in the mix.
Well, joining us now is former NHS Trust Chair Martin Gower. Martin, great to have you on the programme. I mean, what is going on here? Yes, we can point the finger at the pandemic and how that has hugely extended waiting lists. Yes, we can point the finger at the junior doctors being on strike. But the problems in the NHS have been going on for a very, very long time. What's the solution?
Well, I think the solution is that the system nationally doesn't work. But if we look at the issues that have been raised, the shortage of staff has been mentioned by people who responded to the survey. It takes too long to get a GP or hospital appointment. That has been also raised as a major issue. And I think it's not everywhere. I heard you earlier saying, who are the 27% who are happy with the NHS? Well, I'm in one of them, actually, purely by luck. Because where I live, we have excellent services, and I can't say otherwise, both in the terms of response times with the GPs, acute hospital, etc. However,
When you move your body.
However, I mean, I know this is not a live video, but it will be live
the
later.
culture
It's a
generally
pre-recorded
in the
video.
NHS is awful.
Premium.
And why do people not work effectively in any organisation? It can be to do with money, of course, but more often than not, it's just not a very nice place to work. And I think we've got that cultural issue. We've also, and I think this is true of a lot of the public sector at the moment, there is a lack of concentrated focus on what needs to be done. And I use the word focus because the peripheral things, the things that are kind of nice to do.
You're getting lazy in the NHS.
It's good, a lot of corporations are doing it, a bit of virtue signalling, etc., etc. I think those things really need to be quite parked in the NHS at the moment. Finally, I think the other issue which we will always have, and it's not been great in my very, very long lifetime, is that it's run kind of by politicians who don't hang around very long. I think we've had 38 secretaries of state or health ministers since the NHS was founded in 1948. They come, they go, some are good, some are poor, some are a bit complacent, some do a reasonably good job. But to have them run the NHS run by politicians, we're just seeing what's wrong. I don't think it made much difference whoever was in power, to be honest.
I was going to say, Martin, I mean, government after government, health secretary after health secretary vow to sort the NHS out, will reorganise it, will reshuffle it.
God, my fucking shoulder is killing me.
Root and branch, reshuffle, all this stuff. Work
Painful
out how
shoulder.
we spend the money. West Streeting, the potential next health secretary for Labour, is actually making noises saying, you know, we shouldn't have so many sacred cows. There may be areas we should privatise, etc. So of all parties, it's Labour who seem to be accepting maybe a change of direction is in order. But I mean, this is the problem, isn't it? That politicians, they think it's good for their careers, it's good for their parties to call the NHS amazing, to tell that bare-faced lie that the NHS is the envy of the world. And unless we can get rid of that attitude, unless we can get a government in or a health secretary in who wants to be realistic and say the problem with the NHS is not enough money, the problem with the NHS is how it spends that money.
Yep, I agree with that.
Haven't got enough money. They've got more money. You know, we're spending 11.6% of GDP at the moment. We're up there with all the major European systems.
They're spending more money on the NHS on stupid things like shops in the NHS. Like spending, like, I don't know, Costco coffee in a hospital. Or McDonald's or a KFC in a hospital. They're spending all that money and not actually putting it into other things like, I don't know, finding out for a vaccine of cancer that people are dying of, curing cancer, or I don't know, which has got me on the spot now, you know, spending the money on more mental hospitals or hospitals that the people can go into, instead of they'd rather spend the money on bloody stupid pissing shops and bloody Greggs and the hospitals. That's how it looks to me. And they could be spending it on other things like helping people, or which they do in their own way, or building more hospitals, buying more staff, or paying more people. The whole world's a mess.
Whether it's West Streeting, Jeremy Hunt, whoever else is there, the NHS management have a wonderful way of diluting things. In other words, the plan is to do this, this, and this, and they do a bit of it. Enough to sort of keep everybody off their backs. But actually, what they don't really do is do it in a really radical way. And that's been one of the problems. It's fine for a health secretary saying, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, the NHS needs to get fixed. People are getting sick and tired of waiting for a hospital appointment that they have to wait like 4 or 5 hours. The doctor's 2 weeks, or a month, or a year. And then you still wait there for 2 or 3 days. I've got a sore fucking shoulder here. I don't know what the fuck I've done here. I don't know if I've been walking a lot outside of Shifnal, because I did the other day. I've woken up with my fucking back. I mean, literally, my shoulders are killing me. I don't understand why I've got sore shoulders. As you can tell, I'm doing this, and you can see, look, sore shoulders. And hopefully this pain will go. Don't know why. I may have lied funny in bed. But like I say with this NHS thing, it's just an excuse after an excuse. They know what they're doing, they're just choosing not to. In my opinion. Yeah, so yeah.
Bear in mind, the NHS is the 4th largest employer in the world. I think they're sandwiched between Walmart globally and Amazon globally. And the ones above them are the Indian.
Does anybody know what's going on these days?
The American Defence. So it's a massive, massive organisation. And that's really what the problem is with it, actually. It's very easy for people to say, well, you know, health secretaries, they come and go. I wonder who'll be next. You know, let's run a book on it. And I'm actually told, not that the health secretaries who are appointed see it as a great opportunity, but actually, when the Prime Minister is forming his cabinet, I've been told some years back by a cabinet minister that they dreaded that the appointment they might be asked to do was the health secretary's job, that it was basically a poison chalice.
See where they're coming from, can't you?
Most of the jobs these days are a poison chalice.
How about this, Martin? You know, right off the bat, I believe there are 3,500 unmedically qualified middle managers at the NHS on £100,000 more. The NHS needs, in my view, as a matter of urgency, to look into what each and every one of these people are actually doing for this money. And while we're at it, let's see how much the NHS is spending on diversity, how much it is spending on literature, which excludes the word woman. We'll call them people with cervixes, etc., etc. The waste of money is off the scale, and that's what needs to be addressed very, very quickly. Would you agree?
I agree. This is what I was talking about, the peripherals. So these are things that are not core to their mission at the moment is to get the waiting list down, concentrate entirely on patient care, and of course avoiding the necessity for people to come into hospital where possible. Here's a couple of things from me. £10 a visit to go to the GP. The GPs will tell you how stressed out and overworked they are, but they'll also tell you that 40% of the people in their waiting rooms needn't be seeing a GP. But if that is the case, then there's a job that this one job the government does have to do is to educate people that actually there may be other solutions to their health challenges than I'm going to see the doctor, as I had to learn when I lived in America. When I tried to make an appointment with the doctor when I had a bad back, I was told, no, you don't need to see a doctor. You need to see one of our physical therapists, which was what happened to me. But you know, there's an educational job to do. £10 to go and see a GP. I bet that will take the waiting list at GPs down.
Are you sort of suggesting that the model we have in the UK, so I'm glad you said this, because having lived in Belgium for a number of years,
£10 to see a GP.
Is what happens in Belgium if you want to go for a cardiograph, you go to the cardiologist. If you have a problem with your back, you go to the physiotherapist, you go to the osteopath. You don't need to go to the GP first. But in the UK system, everything filters through general practitioners. Do you think it's time we looked at that model and said, this isn't working?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I mean, I have grandchildren who live in America. When they're not well, they see a community paediatrician. They don't go to a place where there are everybody from very, very elderly grandparents through to tiny babies, all in this sort of waiting room place, waiting to see the doctor. That you go quickly to a specialist. I know that in France,
fucking hell, my back is killing me.
Patients were referred from their primary care service straight in to see a consultant, get some scans done the same day. And I heard of somebody who actually who'd been in pain with his hip, actually got his hip replacement done that week. But there was no sending all these letters out and you know, saying, would you please come to report to the outpatients at this time, when actually they hadn't even checked if you were going to be on holiday or away or couldn't do it that day. You know, there's a whole lot of things there that just don't work. It's not that changed enough. And the government, no government will change it. The only way they will change it is by allowing local services to work together to change it. And I think that is a bit of what I'm seeing locally where I live. I'm very, very lucky, but I think there is a little bit more of that needs to happen. It's not about saying we will do this. It's about saying you sort it. You know, there's no such thing as being nationally ill, is there? You know, it's a local issue, and we all judge the NHS by the services we receive in the local area where we live.
GPs, just open your doors, let patients get to you. We've got to spare a thought for these.
Well, right, this country's going off of bloody time.
Force fields to keep patients.
It's an absolute joke sometimes. The NHS.
Well, joining us now is former NHS.
Makes you think and wonder, doesn't it? Just trying to figure out what other things I can show in here. They have some things in there, but not a great deal of things, but you know. As you can see, I'm flicking through the PS4 controller, trying to see what's on the TV. Never anything on a Sunday, just old things and repeats and different things that were on for ages ago. I mean, there's things there, but not actually recent stuff. Trying to find like things to put on. Right. Just cannot seem to find anything on the news again. Hold on a minute. Itchy. Where the hell is that then? GB News.
From fixing to caring, that's a job for America's best-selling hand cream, O'Keeffe's Working Hands.
Now, the Metropolitan Police's Director of Intelligence has said facial recognition technology has been a game changer for policing, triggering the arrest of alleged criminals every 2 hours.
Yeah, but has this newfound technology permanently changed society, do we think? Let's talk to former Scotland Yard detective Peter Blexley and broadcaster Fahima Mohammed. Good to see you both this morning. Fahima, what do you think? Is this a move for good or bad?
Well, the Metropolitan Police has begun this facial recognition technology since 2016, and it has been used intermittently about, various public spaces and events. However, there's one notable case in the UK where facial recognition technology occurred during 2018 Notting Hill Carnival, and the technology incorrectly identified thousands of innocent people as potential